Hey, and welcome back to Caleb's Corner. And today we have a little bit of a different video. Last night, my fiance and I were enjoying the trailer, or I was enjoying it. I made her watch it. She doesn't care. But I was enjoying the trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. And I was super hyped based off of that trailer for the movie. I loved the first Spider-Verse movie, and I cannot wait for the second one. And it got me thinking, I am really curious if they'll do a wave of Marvel Legends, and if so, which characters they'll include. I think Peter P. Parker would be a shoe-in, so would Miles and Gwen in Spider-Man 2099. But there are so many Spider-Man in the trailer and Spider-Women that I was curious who would actually get a figure. And then looking over the trailer again, obviously we get Peter B. Parker and Miles and Gwen. And then we also get like this clip of Miles absolutely getting wrecked and folded by the rest of the Spider men and women. But there are just so many in the trailer, like Spinneret's in there, and May Parker's in there, and there's like a steampunk Spider Woman in there, and you see some of the Spider armors. And I think there's actually like PS1 Spider-Man from way back in the day on the original PlayStation console. I think he's tucked back in there too. But I was just thinking like how many cool figures we could get from this wave. And so many diverse Spider characters with different art styles. They could do so much and deliver such an awesome wave of Marvel Legends figures. And lo and behold, I woke up this morning to a leak. Floating around Twitter and Reddit was this image of what appears to be the backside of the entire wave, this figure being Miles specifically, of retro carded figures in windowed packaging for the Into the Spider-Verse 2 Across the Spider-Verse wave of Marvel Legends figures. So I figured we'd put a little video together real quick, take a closer look together, and see what we have coming up. And apparently this card back is specifically Miles, but on the left you can see the entire wave of figures, which is comprised of Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man 2099, Jessica Drew, Spider-Punk the Spot, which is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, so I'm so excited that he's included in the movie and apparently getting a figure, and Peter B. Parker. That is the entire 7-figure wave. And of course, we can't say anything for sure because it is a leak. Though this appears to be fairly legit, there doesn't appear to be a Build-A-Figure at all for this, which is unfortunate. I was kind of hoping to get like a Cyborg Spider-Man Build-A-Figure from the trailers and clips that we've seen in like concept art, and even some of the other like kid figures that have been coming out. But looking closer at Miles, I'm not sure if it's just the quality of the image itself, but I am not noticing butterfly joints. I can't tell if there's forearm cuts or calf cuts, but I do love this new suit for Miles. Then, as I went about my day, 2 more leaks happened. We have an actual look at the 2099 figure. And like this is what the image was, and I'll just let this scroll for a second so you can kind of take it all in. But this is it. Apparently, the Marvel Legends figure for 2099 looks like this. I'm sorry for laughing, but this is such a weird figure. For accessories, we just get a pair of like open palmed, flat handed hands, like the Flash's running hands. And for articulation, what we're looking at here, at least for the neck, it's hard to tell because it's in a package. But we have no butterfly joints. We have a bicep cut. I can't tell if they're forearm cuts. We have upper thigh cuts. We have double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. The wrist articulation is pretty standard. But we have a waist cut in a ab crunch, which is weird and like kind of out of character for recent Marvel Legends figures. But this doesn't strike me like it's going to pose particularly well. And obviously, it's designed after the stylization of this character in the movie, but his proportions just look odd. And like I honestly, I think he looks really ugly, and the accessories are so weak, just like flat open hands. We get no claw hands or like wall crawling hands for Miguel, which sucks. No unmasked head. I would love to have like a stylized Oscar Isaac head for this figure, but we get nothing. It's just like this such. It looks like a kid's toy, and people will say Marvel Legends figures are kids' toys. They're $25 now. Kids aren't buying these figures. They're adult collectibles. This looks like the 4+ toys that we've seen on shelves already. This is like such an ugly figure here. About an hour after Miguel O'Hara's figure went online, Spider-Gwen got leaked as well. So we have a masked head with a hood, and we have a hood down variant unmasked. It looks like a semi updated like female body buck compared to what we've seen previous. But again, the hands are like these really awkward nondescript posed hands. Like, I don't understand what the accessories are with this wave, with this leak in 2099. But the masked head and the unmasked head is a welcome inclusion. I think the sculpt of the body looks really good. Her face looks great. Her hair looks awesome. We have whatever we have here for articulation for the neck. We get no butterfly joints, which I find unendingly frustrating. But we do get bicep cuts and double jointed elbows, which is fantastic. I know Hasbro doesn't like giving us that on female bodies for some reason. Thigh cuts, double jointed knees, what looks like calf and forearm cuts, and she looks great. Her paint job looks fantastic. I thought 2099 looked super flat and looked really plasticky. But between the two leaks this morning, I thought she looked fantastic. And then about like 30 minutes after Gwen leaked, Spider-Punk got leaked, which was insane that they're all getting leaked like this. But here's Spider-Punk. The web lines are a little wonky, but he's supposed to look like that. This particular design for Spider-Punk is kind of all over the place and kind of asymmetrical, which I enjoy. I like the asymmetric look. But he's got his jacket. He's got his blue like undershirt. He got his like leather pants with like all the straps and like the cloth hanging off of it. And you see like the web pattern on the thighs and the red boots with like the blue laces. And you get his guitar, which I think the guitar overall looks pretty good. It looks like it lacks a little bit of paint on the head of the guitar, but it's decaled well at least. He also gets like a throwing up the horns, not like a thwip hand, but like a rock hand, which I thought looks interesting. And he does have a hand that will be able to hold the guitar. But again, no unmasked head, and that's it for accessories. Like Spider-Punk has to come with his guitar. But other than that, that's it. Like no other extra hands or anything. But for articulation, we'll get his neck articulation. Again, no butterfly joints. Looks like we have bicep cuts, double jointed elbows and knees, a diaphragm joint. There might be a waist cut hidden under that belt. It looks like maybe forearm cuts. And you get thigh cuts and probably a calf cut where the boot is. And then the wrist articulation. That looks like it for Spider-Punk. And then while I was editing this video, Miles leaked as well, and it looks like he's pretty much the exact same articulation-wise as every other figure, which is super bizarre that nobody in this line has butterfly joints, and I kind of feel like at this point butterfly joints should just be the standard status quo for Spider-Verse characters. He does come with whipping hands and unmasked head, so it looks like at least leaked wise so far, Miles and Gwen will be the only ones with unmasked heads. And then the second to last figure will be the Spot, which is one of my personal favorite Spider-Man villains. I think he's just super weird and unique. But I was really excited for this figure until the leak happened, and he just looks really awful. He's really chunky and ugly with like this big torso and really thin arms and legs. He kind of looks like Gru from Despicable Me, but he does come with these two really cool accessory pieces where it's portals with Miles's head and whipping hand respectively peeking through the portal, which I thought was really cool. But the paint job just looks super lazy. He looks like Cowman. And not really like the Spot. The Spot we see in the trailers has all like these tinier dots decorating his body as well. So it would have been cool to see that. He does come with fisted hands and open hands as well. But he's just kind of disgusting looking. He does shake it up articulation wise. He does have a ball diaphragm joint along with a waist twist instead of an ab crunch. I think the Spot will probably be out of the entire wave the dedicated peg warmer. He's just a super niche villain. Of course, him being in this movie brings him to the limelight, but I can't imagine a lot of people picking him up, especially with how hideous this sculpt work is, especially with the hands. Like that open hand, it just looks so gummy and weird. Our next figure, though, is Peter B. Parker. This is number 6 of 7 of the wave. And if you have the Peter B. Parker from the last release for the first film, you have him again here. He's pretty much the exact same, even down to the sweatpants. He's pretty much just a re-release, and it's quite disappointing. I was looking forward to getting a Peter B. Parker in like the full regular Spidey suit with an alternate head. Again, no alternate head, and all you get is fisted hands and whipping hands, so no wall crawling hands or web grabbing hands, no other accessories. Overall, just super disappointing. And then the last figure for the wave is Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, but she has yet to be leaked, so we only have these 6 out of the 7 total characters in the wave. And as you can see from this overview, no Build-A-Figure piece either, and I doubt Hasbro will knock a couple of dollars off, because normally the regular figures come with Build-A-Figure pieces, and that's one less thing we're getting from these figures on top of lackluster accessories. I was really excited about this wave, knowing it was coming out, or at least from the rumors, but after this leak, I have lost 90% of my interest in the wave. Gwen is the only one who looks particularly interesting to me for a pickup, but I don't want to have Gwen without the rest of the Spider-Verse characters, or at least the trio with Miles and Peter B. Parker. But nothing here really like itches that like Spider-Verse figure scratch. I honestly thought these were the kids' figures when I first saw the leak, and it wasn't until I saw like the Marvel Legends logo in the back corner of one of the figure boxes that I was like, oh, no, this is the Legends line. It's incredibly disappointing, especially because I was looking forward to having some really extremely stylized figures for the collection to contrast the regular Marvel Legends we normally get. But the weird articulation decisions and the lackluster accessories just really hold these back. Like, oh, and the super flat paint, all of this paint looks super flat and doesn't look inspired by the extreme stylized art style from the film. So I will be curious to see these in person once they hit the stores, but upon the leak, I've lost a lot of interest. I'm curious to know what you guys think, though. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about these leaks. I would really be interested in hearing what the general consensus is from you guys. If you guys enjoyed a leak breakdown, feel free to give it a like. Let me know in the comments down below. And be sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of my content here on YouTube, and I will see you next time here at Caleb's Corner.